Ci siamo. Siamo tornati nel passato, all'interno di Back to the Future. Allora, benvenuti nell'angolo di Windows, anzi, bentornati, ritornati. Allora, vediamo, il nostro obiettivo attuale è entrare nel bar clandestino. Niente di difficile a quanto pare. Devo solo capire da che parte muovermi con questi pessimi comandi. No, pannello di controllo. Che è questa cosa?
Looks like Emmett's been busy.
L'inventore. Vediamo se riesco a passare.
I should probably stop hanging around the town square and head off to the speakeasy.
Pardon me, sir. You're dressed and your general aura of seediness, I can infer only one thing. You're heading for Tannen's speakeasy. Am I right?
Se dico di sì?
Yeah. Can't you tell me the way?
Down. Straight down. The last stop before the inferno. Unfortunately, I don't have the power to stop you, but I beg you to tarry here a few more seconds and listen to my song. Me, 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 me. You say you've lost your self-respect, but you should care. What in heaven's name?
Oh, sorry, Miss Strickland. Just a little experimental prototype gone momentarily awry.
Mr. Brown, why is there a dog in that vehicle?
Why? Well, to advance the human condition, of course.
Ecco che fine ha fatto Einstein.
Sorry? Mr. Callahan, what are you doing in that getup?
Riconosciuto.
I'm going undercover.
How exciting! You'll have to give me an exclusive sometime. Right now, I've got some souls to save.
And you'll have to get an eyeful of my newest experiment.
You're not angry about the rocket drill?
Water over the bridge. I've moved on to bigger and better things. Come by the gazebo when you get a chance. I'll be setting up. You won't believe what Einie and I have been up to.
Famous last words. All right. Now where's that speakeasy?
Sappiamo bene dov'è.
Who sent you?
Ulysses S. Grant.
What did you bring me?
Meat and potatoes.
What's the word?
Words are for wimps.
Ok. Devo ripetere queste espressioni che non ho annotato. C'è qualche oggetto fuori che può bidoni di immondizia perché ci sono cose selezionabili come queste casse?
Cabbage crates. Must be for the soup.
Ok. Altre cose sembra di no. Mi posso venire qua e bussare.
Who is the king of Siam?
Boss Hog.
Take a hike, Squirt.
Siamo davvero negli anni 80, anche se 1931, con Hazard. Cioè, a ognuno chiede una ascoltiamo anche questo.
Who told you about this place?
Place to call to my travel agent.
What's the big idea?
Stitch in time saves 9.
Settle down, mister. Why don't you wait outside and take a nap?
Napkin, please. I've made a mess.
Questo equivale alle battute di scherma fatte da Guybrush Threepwood contro i pirati. Cioè, devo trovare le frasi.
Who died and made you boss?
Am I?
Un altro? Ok, sentiamo altre battute.
No solicitors.
No solicitors.
terse and to the point. Who's your commanding officer?
Commanding officer, Sir Galahad.
Really? Is he as tall as he appears on screen?
On screen.
Screens can be deceiving.
Cioè, se ritento, cosa succede?
Who told you to come here?
Ho sentito la battuta prima. Quintiliano.
Hieronymus Bosch?
What will you do when I send you away?
Leggo niente.
Sidle up to your boss?
È un po' complicato, a quanto pare.
What will you do if I let you inside?
Inside. Side with the enemy.
What will you do tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Roam the streets.
Quindi posso continuare a provare. Devo ascoltare tutte le conversazioni degli altri.
Who is the king of Siam?
Hieronymus Bosch?
Who sent you?
Ulysses S. Grant.
What did you bring me?
Meat and potatoes.
What's the word?
Words are for wimps.
Ho ricominciato. Cioè, in teoria abbiamo sentito tutte le battute perché si è cominciato da capo, con la stessa scena.
Who died and made you boss?
Altre battute. Gnomi
The old
barbuti.
gray mare?
Sentiamo le battute.
Who told you?
Place to call to my...
What's the big...
Napkin, please.
A me non fa queste domande e quindi non posso rispondere in questo modo. Deve esserci un'altra soluzione.
Okay, those guys going into the speakeasy were obviously speaking in code.
Fin qui c'ero arrivato.
Hoover 28, a chicken in every pot. How's that working out, Herbie?
Majestic Arms Inn.
No time for a haircut now, even if they were open. Besides, they'd probably cut it too short.
Ingresso del dormitorio. Vediamo di trovare una
Hey,
soluzione.
Doc, how's the room?
It's a little cleaner than I would have imagined for a Depression-era flophouse. How are your investigations going?
I haven't really made any progress with Trixie yet.
Well, get out there and make some. If she doesn't blow the whistle on Kid tonight, he may never be brought to justice.
Ho capito, ma non so come... Dov'è la DeLorean?
Park the DeLorean.
I hid it in the DeSoto lot. Nobody's buying cars these days, so it should be safe in there.
Hey, who did burn down Tannen's original speakeasy anyway?
I still don't know. I'd really like to find out before we go home.
I never did get a straight answer about why he came back to 1931 in the first place.
It's personal. When this is over, I'll tell you all about it.
I'm
Ok,
gonna hold you to that, you know. Explain
ricapitoliamo.
all this? I'm confused.
It's very simple. In the original timeline, Timeline A, the speakeasy arsonist was never caught, creating one of Hill Valley's enduring historical mysteries.
Okay.
When I travel back to 1931, I created Timeline B, in which I was misidentified as the arsonist and subsequently killed by Kit Tannen's goons. Einstein came with me, and somehow he ended up in the DeLorean when its failsafe mechanism triggered, sending it back to 1986.
Which is where I came in.
Precisely. You traveled back to June 14th, 1931, creating Timeline C, a world in which Carl Sagan wasn't rubbed out by Kit Tannen. But Arthur McFly was served with a subpoena.
And shot by Kid Tannen's goons.
Yes. So you jumped back in time 6 hours, creating Timeline D.
E siamo alla quarta.
But somehow preventing Kit Tannen from meeting his date with justice.
Which is why the Tannens were so powerful when we jumped back to 86.
Uh-huh. So now we've returned to August of 1931,
Ok.
creating Timeline E, in which, fingers crossed, will send Tannen to prison where he belongs.
Tornando alla
Good.
storia A.
Question.
What?
Can you explain all this? I'm confused. Why are Tannens always such jerks anyway?
It's hard to say. Rogue Neanderthal genes in their DNA, perhaps.
Ok, fatto.
Keep your head low, Doc. I'll be back soon.
I'll keep an eye out.
Cool. Frankenstein.
Harry, you're just in time.
How have you been, Emmett? I know I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
I'm great, and I owe it all to you.
Ah, sono passati 2 mesi, vero?
Yes. That argument I had with my father during our jet drill experiment gave me the incentive to finally quit that dreary court job. I've committed myself full-time to a life of science.
Adesso è fine agosto, non è più fine giugno.
So, thanks for watching Einstein while I've been away.
It's been a pleasure. He's proven to be a surprisingly willing test subject.
Chissà perché.
Almost as if he's been working with me for years.
Chissà
More like
perché.
decades. What's the story with the little car and all this equipment?
Einstein and I are conducting a few experiments with this 1/4 scale model to work out a few hitches in my planned demonstration at the Hill Valley Expo in a couple of months.
A radio-controlled car?
No. Well, yes, but there'll be so much more than that. It
Uh-huh.
will amaze the world. Aha! Got it!
Got what?
I'll show you. Ready to go, Einstein? Watch this. When this baby hits 23 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious cow flop.
Einstein!
No!
Get him out of there!
Not to worry. I've got a fail-safe eject mechanism around here someplace. See? Nothing to worry about.
Nothing.
Siamo avanti di 100 anni. Sì, il cane si è lanciato. E chi lo va a
I'll go
prendere
see
lassù?
if I can find something to help. Or someone. It's locked. Guess I'll have to find some other way to rescue Einie. I should probably stop hanging around the town square and head off to the
Ho capito, ma... Allora, facciamo così. Proviamo a tornare un attimo dal nostro... Beh... Doc, per avvertire che abbiamo trovato Einstein in una situazione un po' strana.
Hey, Doc, I could use a little help.
What's the problem?
Why didn't you tell me I'd run into your younger self tonight?
Because I don't remember being out here tonight. Clearly, your
Oh,
interactions with my younger self 2 months ago have slightly altered my personal timeline. I never have the nerve to perform public experiments like he's doing. No matter. Those experiments will be forgotten once I've seen Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Yes. Right now, my younger self is fiddling around down there with rocket propulsion systems for his demonstration at the expo.
The thing that'll
eh,
kick off your scientific career.
Exactly. Now, the rockets are a horrible idea, and I'll soon realize that they'll never work. But eventually, I'll wander into that movie theater and see Frankenstein and clear my mind. I've kept the ticket stub from that movie in my wallet ever since. See?
Why?
Because it's during this movie that I'll have the inspiration for my breakthrough at the expo.
It doesn't have anything to do with reanimating the dead, does it?
Not the way you're thinking, no. But during that famous scene when Colin and Clive turned the wheel that raised that shrouded figure into the tower, and that bolt of lightning struck, well, let's just say more than one brain was reanimated that night.
Ok. Einstein?
Emmett's not having much luck getting Einstein off the courthouse.
I'm not surprised. Heine's a smart dog, but heights give him the willies.
Oh,
What do we
poveretto.
do?
I've got it.
What?
Just get my younger self distracted, and I'll handle the rest.
Keep your head low, Doc.
Stesse battute. In pratica l'idea di prendere la scossa nel 1955 per rimandare Marty a casa. Ok. No, dov'è? Ecco, allora, Emmett, andiamo al cinema. Ho una soluzione
Don't worry,
geniale.
Emmett. I'm sure you'll get it right someday.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Right now, I'm more concerned with Einstein.
What went wrong with your rocket car?
I'm not entirely sure. As soon as we get Einstein down, I'm gonna go look for it.
Why don't you take a break from Einstein Patrol for a minute? Maybe go see a movie or something.
Thanks for the offer, Mike. But once Emmett Lathrop Brown sets his mind on a task, nothing can distract him from his purpose. And right now, that purpose is rescuing your dog.
Why don't you go look for your car now?
And leave Einie stuck on a ledge? Never! Dogs are much more important than any silly rocket car. Especially one that doesn't work at all.
Why don't you go look for your car now?
And leave her.
Che c'è fra te e Edna? Infatti è una
What's up with
domanda.
Edna? A couple months ago, I could swear she was making goo-goo eyes at you.
That was before my father had her Stay Sober Society meeting thrown out of our house. Now she takes every opportunity she can get to snipe at me in my work. It's very distracting.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
My pop says he's a good cop when he's not drinking.
Good.
Of course, now I hear he drinks all the time.
Ottimo.
You know anything about Trixie Trotter?
The songbird of the Sierras? The nightingale of the north? The floozy of the foothills? Never heard of her. Man, I've definitely never snuck into Tannen's speakeasy to listen to her.
Sono le varie frasi che potrei provare a dire.
Have you seen that Frankenstein movie yet? I hear it's pretty inspirational.
Not yet. I've been so busy with my rocket car that I haven't found the time. But I'm planning on going tonight. At least I will once I get Einstein down.
Ok, intanto mi hai
I'll go
suggerito...
up and see if I can get some help.
You do that. I'll stay.
Ops, l'ho bloccato di nuovo. Cioè, i comandi non coincidono con i tasti selezionati sulla tastiera. Funzionavano leggermente meglio con il precedente. Vediamo se ho avuto qualche intuizione.
Who died and made you boss?
Could you repeat that?
Who died and made you boss?
Gio Piscopo.
Episcopo? If I'm gonna crack the doorman's code, I've got to pay attention to every syllable.
Non c'è più registratore. Ok.
Who is the king of Siam?
Chi? Quindi qualcuno con l'H. E l'unico con l'H è questo.
Boss Hog?
Who told you to come here?
Hieronymus Bosch?
What will you do if I let you inside?
Jump for joy?
Qualche suggerimento in più, dai. Dogo non può recuperare Einstein finché Emmett sta guardando. Dovrei trovare qualcosa o qualcuno per distrarre il ragazzo. Ok. Abbiamo 2 missioni, quindi.
No solicit.
No.
Who?
Giustamente. Mi conviene allora concentrare intanto da questa parte.
Hey,
Mr. Crockett, what can I do for you?
Crockett. Ogni volta cambia nome.
what's going on with you and Emmett? The last time I saw you, you seemed to be kind of interested in him.
That was before I belatedly realized that his agreement to host my Stay Sober Society was a clever ruse to ferry barrels of hooch to his so-called laboratory.
Sorry about that.
Now his very presence fills me with an irrepressible urge to pick at his philosophical and intellectual foundations with every tool in my vocabulary.
So you're not dating?
Dating? The mere thought of romantic involvement with that undisciplined techno-anarchist is preposterous.
Good.
Vabbè, che cosa sta
What are you doing
facendo?
out here in the middle of the night?
Saving people from alcohol, vice, and disorder. And also keeping a lookout for hot stories. You'd be surprised how much news breaks on this country.
Oh,
Broken any stories tonight?
Only the usual. Mayor Thomas trying to slink out of the speakeasy. Frankie Needles crashing his car into a fire hydrant. Nothing that'll get me the front page.
Hey, I got a hot lead for you.
oh.
What is it?
Kid Tannen arrested.
Oh, glorious day! When did it happen?
Well, it
Domani.
hasn't happened yet, but it's gonna.
Keep me posted.
Proviamo con un'altra
I got a
storia.
hot lead for you.
Oh, what is it?
Young scientist strands dog on courthouse roof.
What?
Look over there.
Oh, for goodness sake. Mr. Brown.
Please, Miss Strickland, not now. Can't you see I've got a rather delicate situation on my hands at the moment? My trial run...
Trial run? Public hazard, I call it. And I'm sure my editor will agree. This scientific enterprise of yours represents a clear and present danger to public
You
safety.
know what represents a clear and present danger to public safety? Your singing voice.
There's no need to get personal, Mr. Brown.
Believe me, I have no intention of getting personal with you.
I'm relieved to hear it. Flying cars, of all the ridiculous
You
juvenile
mock me,
notions.
but just imagine a world in which traffic jams and car crashes are a thing of the past.
I might be more inclined to listen to you if your maiden voyage hadn't ended in a crash on one roof and a stranded dog on another.
I'm working on getting him down. Tiny, how'd you get down? Clever dog.
Fortune favors you tonight, but I warn you to be more careful in the future.
Now, how to get that rocket car back down?
Oh yeah. Un altro.
Hey boy, how you doing? Good dog.
Adesso non vorrà andare al cinema perché deve recuperare la macchina. Ok. Forse è andato al cinema? Pannello di controllo. Pannello di controllo. Pannello di controllo.
Testing. Sibilance.
Hey, quit playing with my equipment.
Sorry.
Sì, ok. Allora, parliamo ancora con Edna. Magari riesce a farci trovare le parole giuste.
Edna,
What?
hey, I got a hot lead for you.
Oh, what is it?
I can't tell her that. It could get him in trouble. Hey,
Ah,
I got a hot lead for you.
Oh, what is it?
I can't tell her that. It could get him in trouble.
allora, mi parli di Tannen?
What's Kid Tannen been up to for the last 2 months?
Didn't you hear? It was in all the papers.
Oh.
I've been, traveling.
Well, the feds were all set to arrest Tannen on
Eh.
tax evasion charges. Seems they'd gotten Tannen's books from his accountant.
Oh,
I heard something about that, yeah.
Well, the accountant disappeared, unsurprisingly. But the feds still thought they had a case. After all, they still had the books, right?
Right.
Wrong. The day before the trial, the books up and
Ops.
vanished right out of the
Devono
court's
essere
own
laggiù.
Lots of fingers were pointed, but honestly, the whole town's so corrupt that it could have been anyone. Court clerks, cops, janitors.
Parker?
Know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
Parker? Just another soul lost to the twin vices of booze and despair. I've asked him to tell me his story for my column. Sort of a cautionary tale, but he's never in the mood to talk to me.
You
Trixie?
wouldn't happen to know anything about Trixie Trotter, would you?
Kid Tannen's latest conquest? Well, she claims to be a lounge singer from Seattle, but my sources in Washington have never heard of her. I mean, honestly, Trixie Trotter, what kind of name is that?
Whatever happened with that speakeasy arsonist?
I was about to ask you the same question.
Me?
Don't play coy with me. I may not have any journalistically acceptable proof, but I know you had a hand in Carl Sagan's daring escape from the authorities.
Ok, ma non era questo forse lo scopo.
What's he got against dogs, anyway?
They're smelly, rude, completely unable to take care of themselves, and frankly, they're not very bright. If I had my druthers, dogs would be banned from public places.
Harsh.
It's a harsh world, Mr. Callahan.
In effetti i gatti hanno gli occhi che si illuminano, sono brillanti. I cani no. E Sagan è
You think
innocente.
that Sagan was innocent?
I used to, but after he escaped, 2 more speakeasies were torched in Colfax and Georgetown.
That's just a coincidence.
Coincidence? Or is our friend Carl a serial arsonist?
Ok, abbiamo esaurito il tutto.
See ya.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Donate to the Clock Tower Fund. What's wrong with the clock tower? It's not broken, is it?
Not in the slightest.
Uh-huh.
It's just painfully drab. I'm raising funds to commission a sculptor to place a couple of handsome ornamental statues on either side of the clock face. Something to inspire the citizens to do their civic duties.
Something like lions?
Or gargoyles. You can't beat a good gargoyle.
Cosa che va di moda nei nostri tempi, non all'epoca. E i leoni invece erano normali. Ok, allora abbiamo risolto una parte delle cose, ma c'è sempre il problema qui di bidoni di immondizia. Ma
I don't think so.
no, vediamo se mi fa passare. Ok, porta. E se usassi la pistola?
Maybe not.
No. Se usassi questa?
The only thing I want to break this bottle on is one of those goons' heads.
Ok.
Who died and made you boss?
Facciamo niente.
Hieronymus Bosch?
Facciamo così. Credo che abbiamo fatto una lunga registrazione senza chiudere, senza raggiungere l'obiettivo di entrare qua, però siamo riusciti intanto a salvare Einstein. Ci vediamo nel prossimo episodio, in cui sicuramente in qualche modo entreremo. Non so come, ma ci dobbiamo riuscire. Vi saluto intanto. Ritorniamo nel futuro con un nuovo episodio. Ciao!